Hello and welcome to the first Q&A I've probably had in quite a while. My name's Natalka Pasicznyk and I am a young soprano training to be an opera singer and performer. If you don't know this channel already, I upload online performances, vlogs of operas I am in and performances I'm doing, and behind the scenes kinds of content, plus things such as reaction videos, the occasional once in a decade art video, and similar kind of content. I want to thank everyone who sent in questions. I'm really excited to answer them and discuss all kinds of topics with you today. I hope you enjoy this video. So, my first question is from Lance Kieran. They ask, I see you on your own journey at your own pace, no family or anything. Is this a personal choice? Because Dimash studies also, but his family has been with him and his travels every step of the way. Do you think this is a culture thing or personal choice? Because Dimash said his family is everything to him. Do you also have this anchor, or do you prefer going at your own speed? And what are the benefits of both? Interesting question. I haven't had this one before. Thank you, Lance. So, I do have a family and I'm very, very close to them. I actually grew up singing Ukrainian folk songs and folk music with my father and sister, and I consider that to be one of the main things in my childhood that nurtured my love for music and also made me realise that I might want to do music as a full-time career. So my family are very close to me. This channel I see as an opportunity for me to share my classical singing. So I still often sing with my family, and you can actually probably find a lot of videos of this if you search, I don't know, the Pasicznyk family. I'll put links below because this is still something that's very close to my heart, and I don't want to ever stop singing Ukrainian music. I don't tend to put videos up of personal family events just because I like to enjoy them in the moment and I see them as a personal experience. You sometimes see some vloggers show their family on their vlogs and things. That's something that I haven't really done just because when I'm with them, I spend time with them. I don't want to spend the time shoving cameras in their face and things. But yeah, if that's a thing of interest, I could definitely consider maybe vlogging the next family performance I do with my dad and sister, if that's something that would be interesting. So let me know if that's something that would be of interest, because I'm sure they'd be up for that. But yes, to answer your other question in relation to this, they have been so supportive of my career. I consider myself so blessed that my parents always told me, follow your dreams, do what you want. And I actually wasn't even ever pushed towards music. I made the decision myself. When I was studying A-levels and preparing for university, I wanted to get into King's College London. That wasn't their decision. I just realised it was a very prestigious uni, and I think the fact that they were so supportive and never pushed me made me want to push me rather than having an external motivation. It was all for myself, and they really appreciated and supported that. But they always made it clear that they'd be proud whatever I choose. Next question, Tom2142. What age were you when you found out you had a great opera voice? Great question. How I answer this depends. In general, I started singing when I was a kid, as I said, with my dad and sister. I was initially inspired by the film of The Sound of Music. This was the first thing that was sort of an older style of music that I really loved, and I just found Julie Andrews' voice so beautiful, and I kind of wanted to sound like her. So after that we actually recorded me and my sister singing The Sound of Music. But we've been singing, you know, Ukrainian music for years, and that's when I really started singing, I don't know, maybe when I was 7 or 6 was when I properly started singing, but probably longer than that. In terms of an opera voice, I can't really say there was one single moment where I decided or realised that I wanted to be an opera singer, or that I realised I had an operatic voice, if you will. I started formal singing lessons quite late, so I started formal singing lessons in year 9 in secondary school, and then I started doing grades a few months in to my singing lessons, and I started with grade 5 straight away, and then I had a bit of a gap and then did grade 6 during A-levels. I did grades quite late. I think it was mainly during A-levels that I realised I wanted to go into the classical route, rather than thinking that grades were a thing supporting my CV, and instead I wanted to be in a rock band. That was really my ambition during GCSEs and lower secondary school, but it was, yeah, quite late that I decided that, but I just fell in love with opera as an art form and classical singing. I just found it so challenging because there's always something to be improved and something to work on within yourself, and I just found that really exciting and knew that that was what I wanted to do for the rest of my life. Maximo Rizzo asks, now that the concert is over, and I hope it was a success, thank you, is there any small anecdote that seems remarkable to you? Haha! And in general, what is the opera that you would love to perform on stage? So, the concert. That was an interesting experience. I definitely have a couple of anecdotes about that concert. Firstly, there was a storm on the day in London, and turnout was not as full as we expected, but it went well, it went ahead, and we still had an audience, so that's one part of it. A funny thing happened on the way there. So I had to bring my own music stand, and a screw fell out of it, and my boyfriend was holding this when we were walking towards the bus stop, and once he realised this screw fell out and that it was broken, we had to do a quick fix before getting to the venue. So we found a twig and stuck it in that hole instead. And it actually held together for the duration of the whole concert, and it didn't fall apart. So that was a relief, because that would, I imagine, break the mood of a piece if suddenly a music stand just collapses. But yeah, I never thought that I'd have to do something like that, so I found that quite funny. What is the opera that you would love to perform on stage? I can't really boil it down to one opera, but you may have noticed I've sung Martha's aria from The Tsar's Bride a couple of times on this channel, and that is really a role I would love to perform. And the thing is, it's not really performed that much in the West, but the music is just so beautiful. I have a couple of Mozart operas that I'd like to perform too, and I know that's going to happen just because Mozart's performed all the time. Susanna was one of them, and then I did it. Another I'd like to do is Pamina and Despina, because I think they'd be great fun. In general, I also really want to do a Baroque opera soon. I'm still looking for the opportunity, but I just feel like having a light voice, I really should do that. And I think Baroque operas just aren't really performed as much as, say, Mozart and things. So I think that'd be really interesting. And I think That would open a lot of opportunity for me to discover things about my own voice. A couple of Instagram questions now. What initially got you into opera or music in general? So while I've kind of answered this in the whole upbringing question, I'd also like to add, on top of doing music with my family and taking grades, etc., I actually realised that music was a thing for me in secondary school. Before that, I always thought I'd become an artist, hence you might have seen some of my art videos and time lapses of paintings and sketches. That was just because my whole life I've known that art was something that was really close to my heart and that it was a skill that I had. Music, I didn't really realise it was a skill per se until a music teacher mentioned that it was to me, because I think we all grow up singing songs and things in school, etc. But once we were learning theory properly and composing and things, that's what actually woke me up and realised that that was another skill that I'd love to do. I also was really inspired by rock bands such as Paramore, Muse, and as I mentioned briefly earlier, I actually wanted to be in a band for a while before I found classical music. Yeah, a lot of answers to that question really. There's not one thing. It's all sort of these little moments that have built up in my upbringing and time that brought me to this realisation. Who is your favourite man YouTuber? I'm guessing that means main. Well, I actually have a lot of music YouTubers that I really like. So you may have seen me react to Tiffany Poon. I'm a great fan of hers. I think her vlogs and performances are just inspiring, and they kind of inspire me to do it too. Esther Ebrahimi is another music YouTuber. I quite like music YouTubers just because they really inspire me in my own work, and it's nice seeing other people's thought processes and practice methods behind just the performance side of things. I think it makes music as an art much richer to understand the work that goes into it. I just realised another YouTuber I really like that's not directly related to my music is Yoga with Adrian, because I do yoga a lot and I do one of her videos. So far I've been doing it like almost every day, and recently I've started to be able to do stuff on my own and just come up with moves and sequences on my own. But she has this way of talking you through things that makes you feel okay if you can't do something, and I just find it really fun. It's a nice hobby of mine. Oh, Lisette Oropeza. She's not really a YouTuber. She's a well-known singer, but she has the odd advice video for other singers and things, and I think that's really cool. I just realised my mic has run out of space, so apologies if the audio sounds really crummy right now. One more question. Who is my favourite soprano? Oh, you know what? I'm a real sucker for not having favourites. I just can't pick one. I do really like Lisette Oropeza, who I just mentioned. I love to listen to Barbara Bonney, just because I think her voice is so unique, and I really like that she doesn't put anything on. She just sticks to her young, youthful sounding voice, and I find it so beautiful. And it just sort of, her voice just sort of floats easily over melodies with such expression but also such ease. So I find that really incredible. Who is your favourite soprano? Please answer down below. I hope you enjoyed this video, and it was really nice having a little chat with you guys. Thank you so much for your questions. I really enjoyed answering them. And let me know if you'd like another Q&A soon. Also, let me know how you would answer some of these questions. Check out my recent vlogs and performance videos, linked down below in playlists. and I look forward to seeing you soon. Thank you so much, and until next time, goodbye!